He will sing the rest of the song later, Mr. Shem. You might want to take a sitter to see the text of the Chodaidi. Give this young man also. Just
no, I have
a sitter. Okay, so open up the Chodaidi just so that. So the Chodaidi the Kabbalat Pnei Shabbos and Kabbalat. So last week we were talking about having a Shabbos face, right? And I told you the story about the taxi driver last week. This taxi driver is sitting in his car and on Shabbos, this religious guy is coming from the other direction. He's at a red light, and this guy's walking with his kids, and he's thinking to himself, "Oh my God!" The driver is thinking to himself, "Is this going to be a confrontation?" And as this man with his kids, they come by him, they just gave him such a beautiful, good Shabbos, and the taxi driver thought to himself, "Wow, they look like royalty. They're like princes, and here I am driving around Goyim on Shabbos. I can make a few extra shekels, I want to be a prince also. I want to, and that good Shabbos, he became a Baal Tshuva, Okay, so Shlomo ended up saying, "Don't be stingy with saying a nice good Shabbos." Page 106. Migdash Melech Ir Meducha. So this is the if you're looking at the Chodaidi in your siddur, right? So this is the third stanza of the Chodaidi, and the simple meaning, the straightforward meaning is Migdash Melech, the Ir Melucha. We're talking about Yerushalayim, right? The holy city of Yerushalayim, the city of the kingship. Kumitzi mitecha feicha, get up and get out of the upheaval. Rav loch shevet be'emek habacha is already you've spent enough time in the valley of tears. And he's going to show you tremendous mercy, right? Now, while you're still looking at the Chodaidi, so you probably notice that many shuls, when you get to Loti Boshi, Loti Kalmi, the music usually changes. Do you remember that? That when you go to shul on Friday night, they usually start singing another nigan at the Lesi Boshi. So he's going to speak about that in a minute. To page 106. And so my teachers, Rabbi Sai, you for sure know that by the Hasidim, by the great leaders of the world, the first part of the Chodaidi is more of a serious note. And we're davening Migdash Melech Ir Melucha Kunitzi Mitocha Hafecha. Right, we're still crying about the sad state that Yerushalayim is in, that it's not in its full glory. We're still a little bit in the dark. The Shabbat Kodesh, and we're on the way to the Holy Shabbos. So when we get to Lesi Vaishi, which means don't be embarrassed and don't be confused. By the time we get to Loti Boshi, we forget about all the problems. We forget about all the noise of the world. We leave the sin of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And we're entering into the tree of life. The Shabbat Shel Mala, into the tree, into the Shabbos Shel Mala, into the heavenly Shabbos. And then when we get to Loti Voshi, the music is a higher upbeat music. And we begin to dance. כשמגיעים לבואי ושלום גוואלד, כל עם ישראל רוקד עד סוף העולם, and we get to בואי ושלום, everybody's dancing to the end of the world. Okay, so what Rav Shlomo did over here is basically he's explaining how this whole song of the Chododi, how it works in a personal level, okay, and on a national level, right? So on a national level, in other words, in terms of Eretz Yisrael itself, we're being Mikabel Shabbos, and we want to see the beauty of Yerushalayim. We want to see Yerushalayim rise out of its upheaval and to get out of the valley of tears, etc. Right? And so that's Mikdash Melech, right? You're inviting the city itself to participate and come back alive. And on a personal level, right? Each person is a personal sanctuary. Right? Remember the pasuk that says, "Vasuli migdash v'shachanti b'tocham." They should make for me a sanctuary, and I will dwell in their midst. And the Gemara says, "B'tocham, b'tocho lo ne'emar." It doesn't say I will dwell in it, but b'tocham I will dwell in each one of them. Hashem wants every one of us to become like a base of mikdash. So you have your sanctuary inside. You have your inner sanctuary, right? And it's like sitting there inside, and it's in a state of exile, and sometimes it's like ashamed to come out. It doesn't have the guts to come out, or simply because sometimes we just don't give it enough attention. So it's sort of like calling to yourself, calling to your inner self, like come on, you're beautiful. Come on out, You're beautiful. So, and I'm going to go, just look at the next stanza. Wake up, shake off your dust. Shake off your dust. Put on your beautiful garments, my nation. Al Yad ben Yishai Beit HaLachmi. Who's Ben Yishai? David, right? Through the descendant of Ben Yishai, the redemption is coming really close. The redemption of my soul is coming really close. So sometimes a person thinks that, how can I get into Shabbos? How can I really get into this? I've got so much baggage. I've got so much stuff that's collected on me over time, So what he says over here is, it's like, I once heard this mashal, like take a white chicken and cover it in ashes. What does the chicken have to do to get clean again? It just says, you ever see a chicken do that? Huh? Just give it a chashokol, shake it off, like, shake it off, you know what I mean? It's not stuck on you with crazy glue. It's shake it off, okay?
Yeah. What is the word?
Hitnari? Which word?
Beit Halachmi.
From Beit Lechem. From Beit Lechem. No, David ben Yishai, Beit Halachmi. But David came from Beit Lechem.
Okay.
Right?
So it's
Korva el nafshi ga'ala. The redemption is coming close to my soul. Yeah. The redemption of my soul is really close. And then the next stanza, Hitogri, wake up. Kiva orech, your light has arrived. Kumi Ori, arise, my light. Uri, Uri, Shir Laberi, my song, my words of song, wake up. Kvod Hashem alayach nikla, the glory of Hashem is revealing itself upon you. Right? So then all that is like still the first part of the Chodaidi. And now we're getting to Loise Vaishi, Veluti Kami. Okay? So bottom of 106. So Lote Boshi, just to get the words clear, Lote Boshi Veluti Kami is now Rav Shlomo is going to translate the word Tikami a little bit differently. But in any case, don't be ashamed. And Rav Shlomo is going to explain it as don't, and Loti Kami as don't delay. But really, Matish Tochachi, Umatehami is, this is the part about delaying. Like, what are you, how do they translate it over here? Matish Tochachi, why are you downcast? And why are you agitated?
Doesn't it mean to bow down?
It's from, yeah, so over here, Tishtochachi is meaning to say that, downcast. All the poor of my nation put their trust in you. And the city is going to be rebuilt on its foundation. So, and then just the next one too. Let all those who attack you and rob you, they'll be attacked. And all those who want to swallow you up will keep their distance. Let Hashem, your God, rejoice over you. Kimsos chatan al kala, like a chosn is rejoicing with his color. Okay, so let's see what Rav Shlomo says. V'hinei, bottom of 106. Okay. Who do we got here now? Huh? Shendel, hi. Come have a seat. We even have a book for you. Are you guys, you're not in the same school for your healing stuff, are you? No. But she's out. Huh? You were in Balayan together? Hippies.
Guilty.
106. Okay, so V'hinei, bottom of 106. V'hinei higanu l'chedek hasheni shel Chododi. We're at the second part of the Chododi. אחרי שמתעוררים, ואפשר כבר לראות את האור של שבת נכנס לתוכנו. After we've awakened, we can already sense the light of Shabbos entering into us. Ve'en ma'atzor, and there's no holding back. So as אנחנו אומרים, so then we say, לא תבושי ולא תקמי, אל תתבייש ואל תחכה. Stop being ashamed and don't wait anymore. So, you know that in the Shulchan Aruch, right? It starts off the halachos of the morning. It starts off with the Mishnah from Pirkei Avos, which says, what's the Russian? But no, that's another one. But you should be strong like a lion. You know, it is his Gabir Kari and. But what's the Russian? Just don't have the right words. Hold on. So no, it's in Pirkei Avos. It's it's right. The very first halach in the Yitgaber Kari La'amod b'boker la'avodat borod. That you should be strong like a lion to when you getting up in the morning to serve Hashem. Now it's a whole Mishnah to be kal kenesher, be light as a leopard, strong like a lion. I can only remember where the Mishnah is. And what else? Ratz kitzvi, run like a deer. And what's the other one? Kal kenesher, light like an eagle, right? Fast as a deer, bold as a leopard, and strong as a lion, right? So these are actually they're metaphors, right? But in a certain sense, like they're like a meditation also. So strong like a lion is like, to have the courage, because sometimes we just, like, not courage, but rather sometimes we just like, we got to do something. And what do they say in Hebrew? En li koach, which really means it doesn't really mean I don't have koach. It means I don't feel like it, right? But it's you got the koach, be strong, make yourself strong, right? In other words, sometimes you think I can't resist something. Well, you could. You have to just think of yourself as a lion. Bold like a leopard is sometimes you have to have holy chutzpah, right? Like, like sometimes you're doing something and then people start making fun of you and they say, oh, take a look who's become so religious, and they start putting you down and so on. So you have to have Azaz de Kedusha. Light as an eagle is like, when you think something is heavy, so just visualize yourself like an eagle and rise above it. And Rav Tzvi, be fast, right? So back to what Shlomo was saying over here. He's saying that Atem Yodim Chavirim, Ma Abaya Shelanu, what's our problem? Round 107. Anachnu mitbayshim liyot am segula. We're ashamed to be seen as the Am Segula. Everybody knows what the word Segula means. It's I know that people say, oh, it's a Segula, but literally, Segula would translate as special, right? The color purple is Segol.
You know where they get the word Segula from? I just learned about a month ago. It comes from the word Segol, purple. In ancient times, perhaps in ancient times, royalty wore purple.
That's right.
The king was a special type of person.
That's right. And why purple? Because it was the hardest color to dye fabrics. Mm-hmm. And if you go through the Arab Shuk towards the Kotel, you'll see there's a street there called Rehov HaTzabaim. Did you ever notice it? So there were two Jewish families that all the conquering countries that came in here, I know about one of them was this family that they knew the secret on how to dye things purple. And because all the conquering kings wanted to have that color, so that family was always kept safe. Mm-hmm. And they obviously to keep their lives protected, they didn't share the secret on how to do it. I mean, it's later on in history that it became known. But in any case, so that's the goal, right? But literally means special. In other words, Am Segula is a special nation, and Yidden feel ashamed, like when they're among the goyim, like to be special. But the truth of the matter is, the real truth is that the nations want us to be as beautiful as they know we're supposed to be. They want us. They don't want us. They don't want the Yid to go around pretending. Like one of my friends said, if a Jew goes and tells non-Jews, "Oh, I'm no different from you," then he loses his trust by them right away, because they know that there's something that we are Am Segula. They know that. So he says, we're ashamed to be the best nation in the world. Everybody is ashamed to be the best that they could be, the kadosh, and as holy as they should. We're ashamed to show how divine we are. And I think what he's really putting it with the next phrase. He says, sadly, every time that we get aroused to be somewhat better, so what do? We push it off till tomorrow.
Where are you reading?
I'm now on the fifth line, at the end of the fifth line. תמיד אנחנו דוחים אותה למחרת. We're always pushing it out for tomorrow, right? ואתם יודעים חברים, you know, my friends, היו כמה רגעים בארץ ישראל, there were some moments in ארץ ישראל, שבהם ממש יכולנו לתקן את הארץ הקדושה שלנו. We had an opportunity to fix our holy land. היו רגעים שבהם יכולנו לעשות בהם שלום עם כל העולם. There were moments where we could have made peace with the whole world. אבל לא ניצלנו את הרגע. We didn't make use of the moment. You know, like this reminds me of the Lubavitcher Rebbe of Shalom after the 6-day war. Like, you know, we had an opportunity. The world was ready to say, okay, we're accepting Israel and this and that and so on. Some leaders in this country made some big mistakes. Moshe Dayan, you know, Hebron, we got back without a single shot being fired. Did you know that? They hung white flags out. And the murderers of the 1929 massacre, many of them were still alive. You know what happened in 1929? 1929, there was a massacre in Hebron on a Shabbos morning. And many of them were alive, and they were expecting to be rounded up and executed. Not a single one of them was arrested, as far as I know. And Moshe Dayan, the Waqf in Hebron, came out and gave Moshe Dayan the keys to the Ma'aris in Machpelah. Moshe Dayan went in, had a little tour. He came out and gave it to the Waqf, and he says, "I'm not interested in this." And that was like, we had a moment where they were ready to just accept.
He did the same thing on Harabais too, didn't he?
No. I don't know about Harabais, but they were ready. There were moments where, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe was like almost besides himself. Like, you know, like, we've got this opportunity, and the politicians just, you know, threw it away. Anyway, but we're not talking just about politicians. We're talking about ourselves also. There are times that you sort of get a sense of, you know what you got to do, and you know that if you do it, it's going to be a real tikkun. It's going to be really good. And then what do? Tomorrow, mañana. That's how you say tomorrow? In Baltimore, yeah. Mañana. Huh? I know.
It didn't sound like that. Remember in our day, mañana.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a good yeshiva boy. I didn't listen to those. Anyway, so lachein, so therefore, כשאני מתחיל לתקן את העולם, so when I'm beginning to fix the world, אני אומר, so I say, לא תבושי, don't be ashamed. אני מסתובב ואומר לכל עם ישראל, I'm turning around and telling all of Israel, אל תתביישו, stop being ashamed, אל תתביישו מהקדושה שלכם, don't be ashamed of your holiness. מלהראות לעולם מי אנחנו באמת, don't be ashamed of showing the world who we really are. You know, this is such a true teaching. I remember once I was helping a French Canadian neighbor that lived in the building, moving. There were a few people helping. So then at the end of the day, she sort of said to everybody, okay, I want to take you all to a restaurant. And they're sitting and they're talking. And they're going to go to a Greek restaurant, an Italian restaurant, or this restaurant, or that restaurant. And I'm saying to myself, what am I going to do now? And finally, she says to me, wait a minute, you have a special diet, don't you? Like, you know, you have to eat kosher. But I was ashamed to, you know, I was feeling ashamed to say that, you know, I can't go with you guys and this and that and so on. And the truth is that if he gets up and says, no, this is who I am, this is what I do, I keep kosher, the Gentile is going to respect that. And on the contrary, they'll appreciate it. They appreciate that that you're proud of who you are and that you believe in what you're doing.
But the Jew doesn't know that they're going to accept him until the Jew does stand up.
Yeah.
And then he's shocked.
Then he's shocked about it, right? Okay. So he says that's why we're saying that Loti Boshi, right? Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of how holy you are. Don't be ashamed of letting the world know that you're so holy. Loti Kalmi, Alti Takvu Milaharot Lehem. And don't hold back from showing them. Bach Yechesu Aniyei Ami. All the poor of our nation put their trust in you. Kol Yehudi Tzarich Ladar Shehagula Shel Kol Ha'olam Tluya Bo. Now, he gave a just a he gave a different. He made a chiddush over here in these words. And Bach Yechesu Aniyei Ami. The straight shot is that Bach Yechesu is that we put our trust into Shabbos, right? And what Rav Shlomo just did was he said, Bach Yechesu, the world is putting their trust into you, my poor nation. In other words, the world is really waiting for us to really be who we are and to stop being that way and stop being ashamed of it.
How do you translate the word Aniyeh?
The poor of. Aniyei Ami, the poor of my nation. ואז אני ממשיך, and then I continue, ואומר, והיו למשיסה שוסייך, וכחכו כל מבלייך, כמסוס חתן על כלה, ריבונו של עולם, master of the world, שכבר לא יהיה רע בעולם. We don't want any more evil in the world. שכל דבר לא קדוש יתרחק מאיתנו. Let everything that isn't holy stay far away from us. ואני אשמח אותך, and I will make you happy, כמו בשמחת חתן וכלה, like at a wedding, the joy of a chosen and a kala. So he goes on to Yomin Ismail Tifreitzi. Now, Yomin Ismail Tifreitzi means to the right and to the left, be strong, right? And Yomin Ismail Tifreitzi vet Hashem Taritzi, right? And praise God. Al Yadish ben Partzi, and this is referring to Mashiach already, the son of Peretz. In Ismachav and Negilah, we will rejoice. So Rav Shlomo explains Yomin Ismail, bottom of page 107. רבותיי, בוודאי אתם זוכרים את הסיפור על בנו של רבינו הקדוש האדמו"ר הזקן. You for sure remember the story of the Alter Rebbe, the son of the Alter Rebbe, the Baal HaTanya, שהתחתן עם נכדתו של רבי לוי יצחק מברדישב. This was like a really big wedding back in those days. Chassidim from all over the world came. Kadosh v'nava shmo. So one of the sons of the Alter Rebbe married a granddaughter of the Berditchever. כאשר הם היו בדרך לחופה, so as they were walking to the chuppah, היו צריכים לצאת מהבית דרך פתח קטן. So Rabbi Levi Yitzchak and the Alter Rebbe, they had to go out of the house through a small doorway, דלת קטנה, a small door. וכמובן רבי לוי יצחק אמר לאדמו"ר הזקן, רבי לוי יצחק said to the Alter Rebbe, תלכו אתם ראשונים, you go first. האדמו"ר הזקן אמר לרבי לוי יצחק, תלכו אתם ראשונים, and the Alter Rebbe said to רבי לוי יצחק, no, you go first, right? They're trying to honor each other. והתחילו להתווכח, so they started arguing. פתאום אמר רבי לוי יצחק, so רבי לוי יצחק said, okay, you know what, וכן נצא נחה דרך הקיר, okay, let's just go through the wall. They could have done it if they wanted to. Don't misunderstand. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak and the Alter Rebbe, they could have done that. In any case, Vadmur HaZaken Analo, and the Alter Rebbe answered him, Yoter Tov Shenarchiv et HaPetach. Let's make the entrance big. Let's make the door bigger. Let's make the.
Make the difference when they were both.
Yeah. Yeah, but they both, because they were both so great, they both felt that each one felt that he has to honor the other one. Okay. So the Alter Rebbe said, "No, we're not going to go through the wall. Let's just make the doorway bigger." Okay. Now, wait. Okay, so don't worry about taking it literally. Okay. So he says, Atem Yodim Rabotai, like the censor once said, to Chassidim, he said, if you believe every Chassidic story, then you're a fool. If you don't believe it, then you're wicked.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's not a matter of believing, did it happen like this, did it not happen like this, is the point of the story. That's the important thing, that it could have been. You understand? So he says, Atem Yodim Rabotai, Zes Sod HaChayim. This argument, this little story is the secret of life. Sometimes you have to break the walls. And sometimes and sometimes it's enough to widen the doorway. Belili Ganesh the politica, without talking about politics, Avalatem Yedim Rabotai, Shayom Am Yisrael Omeid Lifnei Habaya. Today Israel is facing the problem, should we simply break all of the walls? Yamin Smolti, break out to the right and to the left. Ki ein ma'aso, because nothing is holding us back. And we're sure that Israel is doing what we need to be doing. Or is it enough to just widen the doorway? And I'm blessing you and myself, let's call Am Yisrael and all of Israel, that we should know what to do. When to break the walls, and when to make the doorway bigger. So like if you think about it, in your own in our own personal lives, right? You'll probably think of situations where sometimes you just feel like you got to break something down. You got to break the wall to make your progress. And it's worth thinking about: do I really need to break what already exists, or is it just enough to make it bigger? In other words, can I incorporate what I've already got into taking the next step, into expanding? Can I expand what I've already learned and make it more meaningful, or do I just have to drop this and learn something altogether new? And that's one example of that. You understand? It could be, or like what do you call it? Do I continue with certain courses and in a certain environment, or do I just got to break that wall and say I'm not stuck over there and I'm getting out of there? This is sometimes you got to just say I'm leaving this environment and I'm breaking out. And sometimes you can sort of just say I can make the doorway bigger. I can incorporate it into what I really want and function with it. Right? You're studying sorry, Nicole, you're studying some kind of healing, aren't you? What kind of healing are you studying? Who?
Three-dimensional.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing? You're breaking walls, or you're expanding the doorways? Expanding the doorways. But sometimes you got to just break the walls too. You understand? It's you understand. So this is like this little story is a marshal for many things in life.
One can either break one habit or to expand one horizon. Would you say it like that?
It's also yeah, for sure.
So one can either say, well, that's how I am, or one can expand one's horizon to incorporate a new learning lesson.
Yeah. You know what that is? Artichoke.
Really?
Yeah. So since you're looking at the beauty of it, so there's a Mishnah that says that mafsik if you're in the middle of learning and you interrupt and you say, "Oh, how beautiful is this tree?" or "How beautiful this field is," so then you're guilty, seriously guilty for interrupting the learning. So the Baal Shem Tov explains.
What are we talking about?
So the Baal Shem Tov, she's fast. So the Baal Shem Tov explains that if you see something beautiful and you see that as an interruption in your learning, then you have no right to interrupt. But if it gives you a little bit more of inspiration to say, "Oh wow, look at how beautiful this is that Hashem made," and let's go back, to learning with a more positive sense, that's great. Okay, so then comes Boi V'Shalom, right? Page 108 at the bottom. So Boi V'Shalom is we're inviting the Kala, right? We learned that Shabbos is called the Kala, Shabbos is called the Queen, and a bride. And we're saying, Boi V'Shalom Ateret Ba'ala, the crown of her husband, please come in peace, Gam B'Vinav Sahala, with dance and with joy and gladness, Tochem Moneyam Segula. Come be with the nation, with your special nation, with the faithful of your special nation. Boi Chala, come my bride, and we add Boi Chala Shabbat Malkita, come and be with us, Shabbos Queen. So Rav Shlomo says, Anachnu Sharim Boi V'Shalom. I mean, everybody knows, right? That when I say Boi V'Shalom, what do? We turn around, right? We turn around and we do pretty much a full circle. So he says, Anachnu Sharim Boi V'Shalom Ateret Ba'ala, come in peace, crown of her husband. Gam B'Simcha V'Tzahala, with joy and with gladness, Tochem Moneyam Segula, be in the midst of the faithful of your special nation. Im Yehudi Rotzeh Ladat Ba'atzmo. If a Yid wants to know, Im Yesh Lo Shayachut LeShabbat Kodesh, he wants to know, is he connected to the Holy Shabbos? Shayachut Mamash Me'omek HaNeshama LeShabbat Kodesh. If he wants to know, does he have a real deep soul connection to the Holy Shabbos? So he says, Zeh Pashut is very simple. This is the simple test. Im Hu Margish Ba'atzmo. If he himself feels deep in himself, Toch Emunei Am Segula, if he feels like he's a real part of the faithful of this special nation, Shekol Yehudi Shu Ro'eh, if he feels that every Yid that he sees, Hu Mamash Rotzeh Lenashek Oto, he mamash wants to go and give him a kiss, Lechabek Oto, he wants to give him a hug, page 109, and he wants to tell him, Gewalt Yehudi, Ein Kamocha, Gewalt my Yid, there's nobody like you, Ein Kadosh Hashem, there's nobody holy like Hashem, Ein Kadosh K'am Yisrael, there's nobody holy like the people of Israel, Az Hu Toch Emunei Am Segula, then he's really within this Am Segula, he's really among the faithful of this Am Segula, Hu Muchan Boi Kala, and then he is mamish ready to say, "Come, my bride, come, my bride." Muchan LeShabbat Kodesh. He's mamish ready for the Holy Shabbos. But if a Yid is walking in the street, Chas v'Shalom, he's thinking to himself, "Yehudi hazeh, this Yid, afilu lo batuach im hu Yehudi. I'm not even so sure that he's a Jew." That's the sign that he's not connected to Shabbos, Chas v'Shalom. And the Shlomo says, I'm begging you, all of Israel, for the sake of your children deserve to be in this special nation. In other words, don't cut your children out of being amongst the Eden by cutting out other Eden, I used to teach in a school in Montreal, not a religious school, a Jewish school. On Lag BaOmer, I took the kids up on the mountain for a hike, and across this pond, so there was a Rebbe with his class from Square. Nothing again. I'm not talking against Square. Anish Kamayr. Bist du auch from Square?
My brother-in-law is the Rebbe's grandson.
Who's your brother-in-law?
No.
What's the name? Any others in Montreal? No.
No.
But they're all Tversky's. They're all Tversky's, you know. Anyway, this cheder, this Rebbe from the square cheder, he said, like, you know, and the kids see me, and I used to go daven sometimes in the square in Montreal. So one of the we were able to hear what they're saying. So one of the kids says to the Rebbe, you know, who are those kids? Like, you know, like they're not wearing yarmulkes. And it's nothing. He says, Zayzen Goyim. So, but the kids say, but Shulim is dort. I don't know what he told them at that point, but like, you know, they were trying to figure out, like, you know, because they knew me from Shul. Like, they were trying to figure out, what am I doing with these kids who aren't wearing yarmulkes, you know? That's such a big mistake. I mean, obviously they don't agree with me in square, but it's such a huge mistake, and it's like it's sad, and people want to know. I was just telling a friend of mine yesterday on Shabbos. You know, the fact is that when our kids go to the army, even if they're coming from a religious house, but they get influenced in the army. There's no question about it. But let me ask you a question. If you and I were in the army, okay, and I know that you are ready to put your life on the line to protect me, and you know that I'm ready to put my life on the line to protect you, yeah? And one of us is not so religious, right? Who are you going to listen to more? The person who's ready to give his life for you, or to somebody who's sitting in front of a sefer and putting us down for being in the army, right? I mean, your brother's a real tzaddik, you know, coming out the way he did, right? But it's like, you know, come on, wake up, get it. Like, you know, these Yidden are protecting your life. You know, these Yidden that you're saying, oh, you know, they're not religious. It's true, but maybe if we would have the same serious nefesh for them that they have for us, it would be a solution. It would make a big difference, and it would make a big change in life. Understand? There's a lot of work to be done. But why should a non-religious brother or a sister of ours, when they're walking in the street and they see a religious Jew, why should they feel so detached from him? Now, I know there's the left-wing newspapers, and they've done enough of their own mishigas, like, you know, to burn bridges and things like that. I realize that. I'm not being naive, but the fact of the matter is that we're supposed to know better. We're supposed to know better. We're supposed to know that this guy who doesn't keep anything on Shabbos and so on, if he's in danger on Shabbos, I have to be mechal Shabbos for him no less than for anybody else. You know, we got to know that. We got to get that message across. So Reb Shlomo is saying, you want to know if you're really connected to Shabbos? Are you toich emunei am segula? Are you really feeling connected with every Yid? If you're not really feeling connected with every Yid, maybe you have a shtickle Shabbos, like, you know, hopefully it's a good cholent or something like that, you know. But to be really connected, and it doesn't mean that I have to go and party on the beach or anything like that. And I don't mean that you have to go and you know, throw off whatever anything just to go and show them that you're with them. If you're really with them, you don't have to change. You know, when you're walking by somebody in the street and you really say good morning, you could wear 10 shtreimels and they'll know that you're with them. You don't have to take off your shtreimel. You don't have to take off your kapata. You don't, because it's not the chitzonius that people pick up on. You know, like, sure, people judge you by your clothes. They categorize you this and that and so on. But if you're real, the garment doesn't interfere.
I've actually seen with my own eyes, not recently, but one day with this, when those sweet teenagers.
That's a year ago.
I've actually seen with my own eyes a Haredi guy during the week, he wasn't wearing a sweater. He actually went over to a soldier, who wasn't wearing a kippah, and he hugged him. He spoke Hebrew, and he said, I was sitting there, he said, he said, Anachnu ohavim otchem. And he hugged him.
You know, when Shlomo was coming back from the communist countries, and he had a stopover in some airport, and he sees a Chassidish Yid, and he runs up to him and he hugs him and he kisses him, and the guy says to him, "You're mistaken. I don't know you." He says, "No, I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen a Yid all day. I'm just so happy to see a Yid, you know." And he says, "You're mistaken. I don't know you." In other words, how could you possibly love me so much just because I'm a Jew?
If you really want to see Yisrael in operation, you gotta come to Kol
Friday night.
It's a Kabbalat on a Friday night.
Yeah.
You see Shlomo and black hats and people. This Shabbat, I saw a young man with a longish ponytail I've ever seen, and he had a keeper that kid that kept falling off. And I saw a Haredi guy with a strangle take off his kippah and put it up in the sky and put it on there. And they all dance together. And you see Yisrael.
You know where you see that, especially on Lag Baimer and Miran. Yeah, what do you want to say?
If we're full of love as a nation, then how does that fit in with towards non-Jews or the Arabs, or how are we meant to do that?
It's like let me put it this way. You have a closer connection with your family than you do with your cousins, right? Okay. So when we'll be the way we're supposed to be amongst ourselves, that won't even be a question. Understand? It's imagine like this. Your neighbor's kids knock on the door in the morning with a note from their father saying, "Please give my kids breakfast. We have to I want to sleep in." Okay. We have to good. Tomorrow they're back at the door with the same note. We have to feed my kids. Now, what's the real that I should just keep on making breakfast for these kids, or that I should go to my neighbor and say, "Mister, your kids deserve a good father." Right? Don't give me this nonsense about it's not nonsense. You just aren't bothering to be the father that you're supposed to be, right? Okay. Now, in the halachas of tzedakah, there's what's called dinei kedima. You have $100 to give to tzedakah, and you have different people that need tzedakah. Who is your responsibility to first and foremost? Okay? So it's like in widening circles. Okay. So the first comes if anybody from your family needs it. Then comes your neighborhood. Then comes your city. Then comes people from another city, and so on. Now, somebody comes and says, "But wait a minute, you're discriminating." And the answer is, yes, I am. But you know why? Because I want you and your community to be a good, healthy, strong community also. I want that you should know that you have responsibility to your family first and to your community first and so on. Don't spread yourself out in such a way that it's going to end up being almost insignificant. Understand? Your children are the first ones that they need your love. They need your support, right? My neighbor, they need their parents' love and support. In the early years of Eretz Yisrael, when they started with the kibbutzim, so they basically, partly for economic need, but partly because of the ideology, they treated all the kids like kibbutz property type of thing. You know what I mean? Like kids didn't get to see their parents more than just at mealtime. Kids didn't sleep at home. And there were people that thought that this was like a great idea, like, like communism, like the kibbutzim were like real communists, right? But it was totally unnatural. And eventually they stopped doing it. It's not natural, right? It's not natural that you have a child and then you put your child into the children's house and then you see them at supper time. It's not natural. It's not natural for the parents, and it for sure isn't natural for the children. So in relation to your question, in other words, that's verstanden?
And it's not natural for God's children and God to have a wide gulf between them.
Amongst us, yeah. But you know how it is, eh? The biggest fights you have in your own family, right? That's unfortunately, that's what we end up doing, right? Anyway, so tomorrow, Mr. Shem, I hope to finish the rest of this material on the Chodorji. Okay? Please come if you can.